Government has identified and outfitted the private ward at the General Hospital as the isolation unit in the event Grenada gets its first case of the coronavirus. The location of the room, however, is of concern to the National Democratic Congress, according to Public Relations Officer of the party, Claudette Joseph, who appeared on To The Point on Tuesday.
Our concern is that while all other countries are setting up separate facilities, Barbados identified somewhere, I think Trinidad did the same, there must be somewhere in Grenada that our government can find to set up as an isolation unit and an outfit. But we are concerned that the isolation unit will be at the same space as other patients, other sick people who are not infected. And based on the information that's being circulated, you have the elderly and people who are already vulnerable, meaning sick people, more susceptible. So we have to be careful not to be creating some kind of incubation unit there at our hospital.
In response, Acting Chief Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Francis Martin, says the proximity to other units at the hospital is not a major concern, as he reiterates COVID-19 is not an airborne virus.
I think the concern is because the persons who were concerned, they're concerned because in their mind, breathing the same airspace can cause the virus to be transmitted. And that's why the concern is. Because you cannot be concerned about proximity if you know for sure that breathing the same air is not a problem.
Okay.
The virus is not spread airborne. So breathing the same airspace as someone, in other words, if you have corona right there now as I'm speaking to you, and you're not coughing, you're not sneezing, and I'm not touching you, I will never get corona. So proximity is not an issue. But in the event that it is something that someone wants to be concerned about, of course, there might be maybe a partition separating or a hallway separating the two, and that's fine. Based on the epidemiology and the pathology of how this disease performs, having a corridor or a partition in between two rooms is not a problem. It is extremely safe for that to happen.
The isolation room is not yet in use, as officials are currently using various quarantine stations, mostly located in the south of the island. Blossom Alexis Welsh, GBN News.